Hello everyone and welcome again to the Johnny Appleseed Organic Village. I'm here today with Shannie McCabe from Creek Heirloom Seeds, and today's video is about planting peanuts. I think the most notable thing about what we're going to do today is we're planting a huge variety of peanuts, the likes of which I didn't even know existed. If your main contact with peanuts comes from the roasted kind, whether that's in a jar or the kind you get when you're at a circus, either way you have not come close to seeing the variety we're going to plant today. So why don't you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, I think most people are only accustomed to maybe seeing like the Valencia peanut, maybe the Spanish type peanut, but there's actually a pretty diverse range. So let's just introduce them. We've got Schrantz's Black. It's a tiny little peanut with a black skin. I think it's really pretty, like that. We've got Tennessee Red, bright red skin, kind of reminds me of a Valencia peanut. We've got the Fastigata pinstripe peanut from Ecuador, and it is indeed pinstriped, which I find really fascinating.
Much like your overalls.
Yes, they're pinstriped like my overalls. And the cool thing about those is that actually, many folks don't know, peanuts are actually native to South America. So that's a variety from Ecuador, so perhaps more ancient. And this variety is called Rabat Market Peanut, and it's actually from Morocco, and it's super jumbo. They're huge, right?
Yeah, no, that's definitely a large peanut.
Yeah, big. They're huge.
Yeah.
So we're going to plant this panoply of peanuts in our beds here on the farm. So we are going to plant them about 1 to 2 inches deep. The general rule of thumb with seeds is plant is twice as deep as the seed is big. We're going to space them 8 to 10 inches apart. Some will thin them to 18 inches apart. The more space, the more abundantly they will grow. And we're just going to cover them up. We did choose a wet day to plant, and that's because peanuts do like consistent moisture when germinating. So don't plant them on a dry day, and if you do, make sure to have your irrigation ready and set up because they're going to want some moisture. Peanuts are a true legume. They're going to do a phenomenal job of building the soil by adding nitrogen. And the one thing to really keep in mind when we're timing our planting is to think about the fact that they're actually quite cold sensitive. Peanuts do not want to go into the ground until the soil is at least 68 degrees warm. So 68, 75, once your soil's about around there, which is well after your last frost date, then it's time to plant your peanut. We're going to make sure that we actually pull the peanut out of the shell before we plant. Now, if you'd like to, save a step, you can plant the entire pod, but you get more out of your seed packet if you actually remove the peanuts from their shell. Be really gentle with this process. You do not want to pull the skin off of the peanut because that can actually mess up germination. I should also note that you can grow peanuts in a container. You don't have to have a field to cultivate your own peanuts. Try growing them in a pot. It's going to work just fine.
Awesome. How tall can we expect these plants to get? Is there variation between?
There can be variation between variety. I've seen most peanut plants will reach to about 2 feet tall. They're pretty short.
Awesome.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you could grow these probably even if you're in sort of an urban environment with limited space.
Yeah, they're a really fun experiment. They're especially fun to try growing with kids.
Well, thank you guys for joining us for this video on starting your peanuts. Hopefully we'll track this all the way to the end, like I said. If you enjoyed this video, please follow Johnny Appleseed Organic on YouTube and Instagram.
And you can find Creek Heirloom Seeds on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. We are called Rare Seeds.
Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us.